Hello, Chippewa families. This is Molly Holohan, the principal of Chippewa, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what to expect when we shift back for blended learning on Monday, February 22nd. I put together a quick video just to share what the changes will be both for blended learners and distance learners as we come back into the building next week. We are thrilled to welcome students back into the building. We've just been planning and anxious for them to come back. We think that we can do so safely and with great excitement. So if you're one of the blended learners coming back to us, we can't wait to see you. If you're one of the distance learners who's going to be staying in distance, we still have really, really good programs for you as well. So it's the same breakdown of the class periods that we've been doing all year. Mondays and Tuesdays are group 1, 3, 5, 7. Wednesdays and Thursdays are 2, 4, 6, and 7. Because we're shifting back into blended learning, we will have period 7 every day of the week, and you can see when group 1 comes and when group 2 comes. We are going to have a live Friday schedule that I'll get to in just a minute. We're going to go back to the bell schedule that we had in the fall with classes starting at 7:45 a.m. Why? Because of transportation and staggered lunches. I know for our distance families this can feel a little bit disruptive that we have to change schedules when we change models, but the issue is that we have staff that teach blended learning sections and distance learning sections, as well as our allied arts staff that teaches both. So we have to be on the same schedule. It does have to start at 7:45 in the morning. Period 7, like I said, is going to meet every day. We don't have that flex time built in on Wednesdays and Thursday afternoons anymore, but that's okay because we're going back to the slightly longer class periods, and we're going to put flex time within the class periods, so students will have a chance to get caught up on work, do some extension activities, get a little extra help within their class period. The governor had mandated 30 minutes of prep time a day, and we could not find a way to put that into a daily routine with having kids in our buildings and making sure that everyone is safe and socially distanced. So we lumped that all together and put it in on Fridays. So here is the bell schedule for Mondays and Tuesdays. This is for grades 6, 7, and 8, but grade 6, because of the block, you have a special schedule, and we're going to send that out separately because of those ELA and math classes that are blocked together. This is what it looks for 2, 4, 6, 7. We're going to send this all to you many times so you can see when the login times are. Fridays, like I said, we put that 30 minutes of prep per day into Fridays. So our teachers are going to have the first 30 minutes of the day to prep and the last 2 hours of the day to prep, which leaves a 7-period day for students with 30-minute classes. The core classes, students are going to log in at the beginning of the period. Core is math, social studies, science, and English language arts. The allied arts classes are going to work with students in small groups, and the teachers are going to give directions on who should attend. So the allied arts slots, periods, whatever period you have your allied arts class, whether it's music, PE, Spanish, integrated math, integrated science, that time is for that class. It's just not necessarily going to be live. So your allied arts teachers are going to describe all that to you. PE teachers for sure are just going to push out the content so that whenever your child has PE in their schedule, they will be able to do a brain break. As I said, the morning and afternoon is mandated for teacher prep, and this is when students can do their own individual catching up. They could do their instrument practice, they could do their independent reading. It's a great time for them to do some extra chores at home. I'm just sort of kidding, but you can use that time for students to get caught up and do the work that they need to do while those teachers are prepping. Some shifts in at-home learning days for blended learners. We are going to do less synchronous teaching for our blended learners on their at-home day. Teachers really want to focus on the students in front of them. There will be a daily check-in with the at-home learners, and those times are going to be clearly communicated. There's going to be other opportunities for blended learners on their at-home days to get help, and teachers will specifically outline that. Synchronous teaching is a great idea, meaning teaching both the students in front of you and the students at home, but it did have a number of significant pitfalls, including sound and tech issues, and not to mention that a lot of times teachers just felt like they weren't doing a really good job with either group of students. So in blended learning, we're going to make sure that the students who are in the classroom have the bulk of the teacher's attention. A couple other important details: we are not going to assign lockers. We're doing this for a number of reasons. One, we want to know where students are at all times, and so it's hard if they have the excuse that they need to go to their locker. We want to make sure we're doing proper social distancing. Students who have boots or other materials can be stored in the front or back office. We have racks, we have boot racks, we have places for them to put extra materials. But we do want students to have their jackets and hats and mittens with them because we're going to do outdoor mask breaks. They'll be able to go outdoors at lunch. So we do want them to keep their winter gear with them. This is the coldest week of the year so far. Hopefully the weather's going to break and it won't be so cold. One change from the fall: masks will be worn in PE. And then if you're curious about what school supplies to bring, just kind of bring the basics. We do want students to bring their charged Chromebooks every day, but please know that we are going to try to be off screen when we are in person as much as possible. There's still a lot of work we need to do on computers, so they do need to bring charged Chromebooks, but we are paying attention to the amount of screen time we're asking students to do. Other important details: lunch remains free for the remainder of the school year. We're going to remind students of how all the different systems work, how to get lunch, how to walk in the hallways. We are emailing every student and their family a personalized one-pager with their passwords, important links, the bell schedule. Students will get a copy of their schedule when they arrive on Monday or Tuesday with room numbers on there in case they've forgotten or there's been a change. For blended learners that are new blended learners, the deans have reached out to offer to give a tour in advance of coming back next week. Bus information will be sent out from transportation by the middle of this week as well. I do just want you to know that we are listening and have made constant adjustments to our instructional models. Parents gave us super valuable feedback in our fall survey. We also surveyed students at the middle of the year, and they gave us really important information specifically about workload by content area, what activities they find engaging, which activities they don't find as engaging. Plus we have data from what types of assessments or assignments have been completed, and attendance information. We do have a strong sense of what's working and what isn't working, and this is going to inform our planning days. What do we need to do more of? What should we do less of? Finally, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. We are seriously so thrilled to be back in action with the students in our building. We ask that you partner with us by reminding your blended learners to wear a mask, stay home if they're not feeling well, keep 6 feet apart, and even though we're super excited to see each other, we only can give air hugs. We do promise to communicate with you, probably almost too much so, but we'll be in constant communication. We are so grateful for your partnership. As parents and guardians, your support really means the world to us. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.